Hey everyone, it's Mazik. I'm coming here today with the actual spoiler-filled review of the Doctor Strange movie. Well, let's just hop right into it. Doctor Strange. Everyone was excited to see this movie. Everybody here, I know, saw it in 3D or is going to see it in 3D. So, if you're here for this review, I assume that you've already seen it and you've either made the decision that you're going to go back and see it in 3D or you saw it in 3D at IMAX and you know it's amazing. So that being said, let's go ahead and just give a second here to applaud the fact that this movie is one of the most visually well done movies ever done for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Very well done. Good job, Marvel. Now that that's out of the way, we'll actually go ahead and get into the storyline of it all. Firstly, giving big props to Marvel on doing such a great job with Doctor Strange. For real, the character was basically Tony Stark all over again. Tony Stark in the role of as a neurosurgeon, because that's basically what it was. He's a billionaire, playboy, philanthropist. He's maybe not a billionaire, but he's loaded, obviously, enough to have multiple massive, highly expensive surgeries that insurances don't cover. So he was loaded at one point. A good-looking dude. Obviously had women hollering at him. Just a well-done character development for this character, because this was a character who had reached a brick wall, an area where he wasn't able to learn really much more, and it was almost like a willful ignorance, because his own intelligence was so high, and he had learned everything there was to know about medicine, so it was almost like, what else is there to know? I know everything. So it was nice to be able to break that person that knew all, and actually force them to become something, to admit that they were nothing, to go all the way back to nothing and learn magic, which was something that was inside of you that he didn't even know existed before his accident. I mean, one car accident, you lose everything, you can't control your arms, and now here you are being told magic exists and it can be used to repair yourself. Okay, well, I'll bite. You know, just a really cool transition to learn. To have someone that goes from impossible to learn anything new to this person who has to basically commit to learning new things or fail and die because he doesn't really have a choice. It's either learn or die on a mountain somewhere, or die in a village somewhere, or die in the middle of this place where Mads Mikkelsen's character Casselius comes in and just starts killing people. He doesn't really have a choice. He basically gets thrown to the wolves, and it's fight or flight. Commit to the magic and believe in it, or die, because he didn't really have a choice, which is, I guess, why they probably progressed him so quickly once he started learning. Like, once he started doing a couple of the magic things, he progressed, like, extremely fast, because otherwise he probably would have died. I mean, that's the only thing that would have basically been able to really happen there. I want to talk not too much about the characters, because everybody here saw the movie. Everybody here knows how amazing the cast was. It was such a well put together cast. But just to take a second to really talk about Chiwetel Ejiofor's character Mordo. This is a character who has so much really left to do in the Marvel Universe. I have a feeling we're going to be talking about Mordo and Ejiofor's character for like years and years and years, because his character is not done. If you wait to the end of the movie, you saw the last credit scene. Ejiofor walks in on Pangborn, the guy who told Doctor Strange about his ability to learn to walk again through mystic magic, and he's like, oh well, I've learned through everything what the biggest fallacy of it all is that there's too many sorcerers. The balance of power is not right. So he takes the power, he takes this mystic energy, this power that Pangborn's using to basically allow him to walk, to not be a paraplegic, and he just takes it from him. So we see almost like an evil Mordo, like more like the Baron Mordo that we're more common with if you read the comics. So it makes me wonder if, because Mordo's character in this movie he was not a spellcaster, really. He obviously casted portals. He did a couple little things with summoning weapons from energy, but he didn't really cast spells like Doctor Strange did. He was not a sorcerer, really. He just seemed more of a a finesse fighter that used artifacts. Like, he was always bragging about his artifacts and how he used them to convey his energy. So while Doctor Strange was more of a finesse, he never really used an artifact other than his cloak of levitation and the Eye of Agamotto, which does not really count because that was just sort of there for the two instances. One, to mess with the apple and read the book, and then two, because he already had it on after the whole thing started blowing up. So I mean, it was he just happened to have that on at the right time, which was kind of the whole point. Is that he didn't really use like crazy like artifacts. They just happened to be there at the right time for him. Um, there were a couple little things like also that were seen in this movie, like the extra scene also with Thor, which was really cool because a lot of people were wondering, well, he's talking about looking for Loki in New York and looking for Odin. Like, when is that? When is this? Is this after Civil War? It's like this is during the time of Ragnarok. Because if you remember at the end, whenever the second Thor movie left off, Odin was not in the place. It was Loki sitting on the throne, and Odin was gone. This looks like Odin has been like cast to Earth, and they're in search of Odin with Loki. So Thor's got Loki, and they're just trying to get him out of here. So this is now Doctor Strange is basically just now being confirmed to be in Ragnarok. He's like, I want to get you, Loki, and your dad, and you can get the hell off of my planet. I'm here to protect Earth, and three of the biggest threats to Earth are here. So Doctor Strange, Hulk, and Thor are all going to be in the same movie, and I find that absolutely just insanely exciting because you have three of the biggest power hitters in Marvel that are finally going to be on the screen at the same time. I'm just like, in my head, I'm imagining Ragnarok with a fully decked out in armor Hulk just smashing things while mountains are just being turned over into each other and grounds are just like collapsing and rifts are opening up and Doctor Strange is just casting abilities and throwing people into voids. And meanwhile, you see Mjolnir just flying across the screen through voids and out of everything. Just there, so much excitement that comes from just the thought process of what could happen in Ragnarok now. So I'm like really excited for what Ragnarok could potentially be. Now, basically, we find out now here at the end, towards the end, Wong's character basically makes an implication that the Eye of Agamotto is a Infinity Stone, which it feels like it's kind of obvious. There's two Infinity Stones remaining left in the MCU that haven't been identified, but with the fact that the Eye of Agamotto has an implication of manipulation of time, it's kind of obvious that it's the Time Stone. So that being said, that leaves there only is the Soul Stone, which there's a lot of people that believe the Thanos theory. It's like, the first one was the Tesseract, and you got the Aether, and then you got, and if you put them all together, it should spell Thanos. It's like that means that the last one would have to be an H, and that still stands by my theory. I still believe it could be Heimdall. If we follow that theory, I believe Heimdall could be the last Infinity Stone because he represents a Soul Stone. So that would mean the soul of someone pure, the soul of someone who is immovable, pure to the point where they will not betray honor. And is there really anyone more honorable in the entire Marvel universe right now than Heimdall? With even Cap is as honorable as he is. There's no way he could be the Soul Stone. I don't think they could just kill Captain America and make him the Soul Stone, and Thanos is just like, haha, Captain America's in my wrist now. And no, it doesn't make sense. It 100% has to be a character that is expendable. Not only is Heimdall a character of pure spirit and soul, but he is a guardian of Asgard and the guardian to all the worlds. So that would make perfect sense because not only would that mean that the gates are potentially open now for transit to all these different areas, but it means that there's no keeper, there's no guardian for all those worlds. So I mean, it kind of says without saying that it very well likely should be Heimdall who is in possession of the Soul Stone, or possibly has his soul taken because he's a pure individual that could fill the empty stone that is the Soul Stone. That's my theory on that, of the last Infinity Stone. There's obviously a lot to this movie. I don't want to make a video that's extremely long, going into each and every aspect of the movie. But for real, the review of this movie is simple. We all saw it. We all know how incredible this movie was. So much extra in this movie that could be talked about, should be talked about. There are characters in the movie that were little well known, that really didn't really have a role, that you're like, oh, well, they actually had a bigger role. The guy who was in charge of the New York Sanctum that was killed, or was it? Yeah, it was the New York Sanctum that was killed right off the bat. That would be. It was the Doctor. Not Doctor. It was Master Drum. Master Drum. That's actually a character who is. I believe he is either the brother or the. I think he's the brother of Doctor Voodoo. Is a character who became the. He became a sorcerer supreme for the Mystic Defenders as well. So I mean, there's a lot of background Easter eggs in this. I would have to research, because as much as I like Marvel and Doctor Strange, there's no way I could do all the research without like actually looking it up and making sure I was correct. I've had people tell me that the address that they got to in London represented something from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I just couldn't put my thumb on it either. I think it might have had something to do with Sherlock Holmes, though. I don't think it was Marvel reference, though. But there were definitely other references to other things throughout the movie. Tons of little Easter eggs. And if you know any about the Easter eggs, obviously post them. I'll do my best to research them and give you guys answers on them. The next video I plan to do is probably going to be the Star Wars Rogue One. I'm very excited about Star Wars Rogue One. Definitely going to see that next month. But I'm not going to keep you guys too much longer. Thank you all for sticking around for my spoiler review. Hope you guys all enjoyed the movie. Hope you all go see it in IMAX if you still haven't seen it there yet. It's an incredible ride. Give me a thumbs up. Give me some comments. Let me know what you think of the video, what I can do to improve. I'm always going to keep doing this. I got my green screen, lighting kits, and everything ordered. My videos are going to get a lot better here in the future. I'm upgrading my camera. I've got my new mic here. I've got lots of big plans to improve my stream and my videos for you guys. So keep with me. Stay with me. Give me feedback. I'm going to do my best to improve for you guys. Thanks again. Hope to see you back next time.